take a minute to identify what's the worst thing that can happen to you. The very worst thing that can happen to you. What's the biggest threat? What has most potency to stimulate fear? Everybody got a story? If that happens, what's the worst thing about that? So now we're in the secondary. It's happened, and you're in the zone of that's the worst thing that can happen as a result of that. Now, what's the worst thing about that one? And some of you at this point might have found the idea that was the root of all of it. And if you haven't, do another layer. So, well, what's the worst thing about that? Has it started to change for you? Okay, if it hasn't, go again. What's the worst thing about that? What's really the worst thing? Keep going until you can actually, I can actually kind of deal with that. I'm just afraid of the idea of it, but I can actually deal with that. Have you gotten to that place? Okay. Some yes, some no.
You're talking about dealing with it in the present, looking at it, or dealing with it as if you were in that moment?
As if you're in that moment. So that you really touch into the core of what the fear is about, Some of you are smiling, it's funny. And some of you are crying. If you keep going through the layers, what's the worst thing about it? For those of us who know fear, or have known fear, or wherever we're at in the trajectory of it, it's just a useful exercise. Because it really helps to demystify. It's like, well, what is really going on here? Because when fear plays, we usually have such a rush of chemicals that we don't use our rational mind anymore. And the chemicals are just taking over. It's very simple, really. Chemicals take over and you're caught up in fear. Whereas if you're like, hold on a minute now, what really is going on here? And get a better understanding of how your body has gotten into this chemical mess. It's like, really, what is my imagination doing here? What's my mind doing here? What ideas are running, and that I'm believing them? And I'm sure some of you found that, good Lord, really, I'm afraid of that. At the end of the day, I'm afraid of that. No. Did any of you find that? That it just peeled back to being something that you had no fear about. And understanding gives so much. When we understand what fear is about, yeah, and it's just like, all right, so let's just calm down the body and we'll take care of the chemicals. Now let's look at this, and you're just starting at the densest layer. It's like, all right, hold on, there's just an idea behind this. And there is just an idea behind it, always. So let's go to the idea and demystify that, because we're actually fine, really, We were fine before the body, we'll be fine after the body,